today, get the iron out. I'm representing a company called A-Teck today, run by good friend Anthony. The company does sound and lighting and teaches and loads of stuff to do with sound, and I've done many an event with him. Many a disco, mini festivals, you name it. If it's to do with lighting and sound, then he's done it, and I've done quite a few with him. So, but the thing is, I know a good amount about setting up mics and setting up a band. I'm probably a better stage manager than I am sound engineer or anything like that, and that's what I'm wanting to learn today, is about frequencies and mix and all those kinds of things, because today we've not just got like a guitar and a bass and drums, where the biggest problem you've got is that guitarists like to turn up and it cuts through the frequencies that singers sing at. I think today we're going to end up having quite a few more challenges, and I don't know everything about it, so let's learn. The joyful M1. How you feeling, Anne?
Joyful.
It's a lovely sight. Toddington Services.
In the damp grey drizzle.
Yeah.
Matrix signs and traffic.
Looks just as cheery as a Monday should be, even though it's not Monday. Anyway, so we're on the way down to Heathrow, and
Crown Plaza.
The Crown Plaza in Heathrow, and as I suspected, it's not just a three-piece band. So, do you want to tell us what we're dealing with today?
We're dealing with three singers, who we do sometimes supply stuff for, with backing track, but no backing track today. We have full drummer, obviously, bass player, guitarist, keyboard player, and three brass, which is going to be two saxophones and a trumpet. So there's 10-piece in it today with the singers, with all that front of house PA, all that monitoring, a little bit of cheeky lighting, and a bit of engineering work, some actual cabling to be plugged in, and some music to make work and sound nice.
Awesome.
In an unknown venue, that's the trepidation, a venue that we don't know particularly well.
Good, so that means I'm going to learn some stuff. The bits that I think, that I've worked with you a lot, and I think I know a decent amount about when it's a band with, keyboards, bass, guitar, singers and drummers, but things like brass sections, as much as I've helped set them up, I've never really done much of the desk work.
They're noisy. Everyone will complain they're noisy, they're too loud.
So
the trumpeter doesn't need a microphone. They do. We say that to annoy them.
Yeah, because
they're noisy.
Don't play your own trumpet and all that. So that's what I really want to get out today, and I'm sure you'll just like to learn what I did over the weekend and stuff.
Yeah, a bit of close mic condensing work.
Good.
For them. Lovely.
Good. Well, see you when we get there. If we ever get there.
stop making the odds at you. Why did you that surprises me is that I don't really want you to. When your shoulders are frozen, cold as a mature and explosion. Your name isn't real and I can't tell your tale. I'm lighting the fuse, my resort with the pain. Oh, how can that you look good on the dance floor? Don't know where you're looking for romance, oh, don't know what you're looking for. I said, when that chick look good on the dance floor, into the little rock like a robot from 1984. From 1984. Maybe can't you see? I'm calling a guy like you, somewhere along me. You're dangerous. I'm calling. Hey, hey, hey! Because you know I'm. And when you grow up, live like a good boy order. And your mama takes a shot of that song. You know it's something different. All the girls seem to like you. Because your hands up, I've been talking a whole lot about.
Put the lights on.
Well, the good news is that the band were great,
Yeah.
and they sounded great.
They did sound great. Brilliant.
Yep. Downside is like just audiences.
Aren't
that just-
always so great.
audiences that just want to dance to a DJ but not a great band.
And a company paid for bar.
Makes a big difference. There you go. That's lesson number 1 for today. When there's a free bar, people just stay at the bar all night. We'll catch up later. Right. What did I learn? Apologies if I look ill. I have been ill over the last few days, and I'm trying to get over that. But I thought, hey, let's get cracking and get this one finished. So what did I learn? Quite a few things. Number one, which I think is the most important, and that is about how brass sections sit within a band mix. So if I go back to what I spoke to Ant about, and he put it in a very, very straightforward way. Did we ever used to mic up orchestras 100 years ago? No, we didn't. And that's because the instruments have been designed to sit with each other. So a saxophone with a trumpet, trombone, etc. The instruments were designed to work in conjunction with each other. So make sure when you mic up, you're not micing with a mic that will colour the sound, or pick out certain frequencies more, i.e. 57, like SM57 will it won't be the natural sound. So use a flat response condenser mic to just pick up what they are doing. That was the first thing that I learned. Then obviously just bring them into the mix with the vocals, the guitar, bass, etc. and do what you would normally do. So no need to worry too much about the EQ. get the levels right, go and listen, and if anything sounds harsh, cut those frequencies a bit. You know, especially in the room that we were in. Which brings me to the second point that I learned. You know, when I'm booking a gig with either of the bands that I play in, I will always ask questions about how big the room is, so that I can gauge. And I'll often ask for, can I have a picture of a band that has played there before, so I can see what rig they have taken and kind of go accordingly. With this one, we didn't have that luxury of excuse me, we didn't have that luxury of knowing what a band looked like inside the room. I told you I've been ill, apologies. We didn't have that luxury, so we went with the knowledge that we had, like how many people were supposed to be there, knowing that it's a big band, and yeah, we turned up, and as you see from the video, it was a smaller room than we expected and a much smaller area than we expected. We also expected there to be a stage, which there wasn't. So we went with massive TX speakers, full range bits of kit that we didn't need, because as you saw, we had to put them on the floor. In a weird way, that helped, because it was just loud, really loud. Even the acoustic volume of the brass section was very loud. But when you're told how many people, you kind of go with, let's take a decent enough rig so that if it's a bit more, we've got the headroom to do that and keep going. Turns out we didn't need it, but there we go. So yeah, that's the next thing to learn, is number one about the how to mic up and EQ a brass section. Number two is how important it is to just remember to ask more questions than you need to. The venue might think that you're being over the top, but if we'd have put in everything that we took, then wow, we'd have, you know, there'd have been ears bleeding in the room. You definitely don't want that. So that's number two. Number three, I can't stress the importance of positivity. I've done gigs where things like that have happened. We've taken too much, and you've got things that are way too big for what you need, but you're miles and miles from home, and you just got to deal with it. And they were stressful. There is nothing you can do about the kit that you've brought. So positive, because you can only work with what you've got. And if you learn to work with what you've got with a positive attitude, other people are happy. The people that are attending are happy. The people that have put on the gig and booked you are happy. And the most important bit, to make sure everyone stays happy, the performers are happy. So when you turn up and you've got a shed load too much, you don't bitch and moan to the people that are performing. And if you are the performer, you don't bitch and moan to the venue. Get that out of your system between the people that are there. You know, if you and the other sound engineer, or you and the bass player or the drummer just need to have a little bit of a moan, to get it out of your system, put it aside, get on it, lose that negativity, and just really stay positive and show everyone, at the end of the day, the people that are attending, it's not their fault that you brought the wrong kit. It's not their fault you was misinformed, or you know, whatever caused the fact that you have the wrong kit. It's not their fault. So stay positive. Is that it? I think that's it. There's a few outtakes. I think we went to McDonald's on the way home. We had a laugh. It was good. Keep learning.
Because your best
that El Mexicano is really good.
So if you're happy with the odds on offer,
And this is the real world. Just praying that there's a great thing in the services. Even if it's Greg's.
It's a curry bar.
There's what?
There's a curry bar in there.
There's a curry bar.
Yeah. Look.
Well, I said curry by the pint.
Tapori curry bar. Can you have 2 curries in a day?
Probably.
Why would you not?
And there's pizza. Mum, I'm never seeing you again because I'm staying in the services. This is so good. Come on, Laurie, out the way, please. We just want some food. Oh, now you're just being silly. He knows we're hungry.
Stick it just there.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.